Ford is facing a tough time moving their vehicles off the lots these days. They're slashing prices left and right, practically giving away their big trucks and stylish EVs like the Mach-E for a penny. This might seem like a dream deal for consumers at first glance, but there's more to it than meets the eye. In reality, these markdowns are strategic responses to slow sales. Initially, Ford experimented with raising prices to improve market positioning, but sluggish consumer interest prompted a quick about-face. But what's causing the sales slump? Picture rows upon rows of Ford vehicles, from classic F-150s to the futuristic F-150 Lightnings, lining dealership lots like a metallic cityscape. It's unprecedented, a sight that raises questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Ford remains tight-lipped about this unusual stockpile. They vaguely mention that these trucks are undergoing quality control tests, but it begs the question: shouldn't these rigorous assessments occur at the factory before these vehicles roll off the production line? This concern is valid, particularly in light of Ford's recent history with recalls, having topped the nation's recall charts for 3 consecutive years. 2024 appears to be following a similar trajectory. This unconventional approach challenges traditional manufacturing norms. Rather than prioritizing meticulous quality checks throughout production, Ford seems to favor rapid mass production with post-production quality adjustments. While this method may aim to meet soaring market demand swiftly, it leaves customers questioning the initial reliability and quality tests their new trucks undergo before hitting the roads. From an industry standpoint, such practices risk compromising Ford's long-standing reputation for reliability and craftsmanship, if that is still something they're known for. Every manufacturer faces hurdles, but how Ford navigates this pivotal phase will undoubtedly shape consumer confidence and market perception moving forward. So, to answer your question, let me ask you another one. Who in their right mind would buy these things? I mean, have you seen what they did with the Bronco? These SUVs had a real problem, and at the center of the issue lies a concerning gas leak problem that poses serious safety risks. Recently, Ford made a recall of 43,000 units. Now you might wonder, so Ford's facing a challenge. What's the fuss about? Well, let me break it down for you. The exact problem with the Bronco revolves around faulty fuel injectors, which have shown a tendency to develop leaks. When gasoline leaks and meets the hot surfaces of the engine, it creates a significant fire hazard. You don't have to be a car expert to understand why that's a major concern. But rather than opting for a more definitive fix, like replacing the defective injectors, Ford has chosen a different route. Their proposed solution involves fitting a tube to redirect leak fuel away from the hot engine component and onto the ground. It might sound like a creative approach, right? Well, not exactly. While the temporary fix might prevent immediate fire risks, it opens the door to other potential hazards like sudden slowdowns or even stalling on the freeway. Not exactly the smooth ride you'd expect, right? By simply diverting the leak fuel and deactivating the high-pressure fuel pump, Ford appears to be masking the issue rather than fully resolving it. It's not like Ford hasn't had its fair share of quality control issues in the past. They've had a rocky road with manufacturing problems, and this latest recall isn't doing them any favors in rebuilding consumer trust. Now, you might be wondering, how does all this affect me as a consumer or investor? Well, folks, it's about looking at the bigger picture. Ford and many more companies, like GM, are facing these brand perception issues. The major difference is that GM is at least profiting big time with their overpriced trucks and SUVs. They seem to have a bit more control over there, and I'm not talking about the EVs. That's a different story. GM, Ford, and most EV manufacturers like Fisker, Canoo, and Workhorse have encountered their own bumps in the road, with Fisker alone facing a hopping 40,000 order cancellations. Whether you're a consumer making purchasing decisions or an investor eyeing potential returns, these things are crucial. So I started analyzing all the data available. When you start to look at the numbers, it gets a little confusing because numbers don't lie. In 2023, Ford marked a significant milestone for the company, witnessing a remarkable 7.1% surge in overall sales. This surge propelled Ford's truck sales beyond the million-unit mark, a staggering 13% increase from previous figures. However, there's an intriguing paradox. Despite expanding sales volume significantly, Ford's market share contracted to 13.3% by the end of the year. To grasp this phenomenon fully, we need to delve into the complexities of the automotive industry. Market share isn't just about sales volume. It's also about how a company's performance compares to its competitors. While Ford saw robust growth in absolute terms, changes in competitive landscapes may have caused their relative market share to dip slightly. As of right now, Ford is losing around $36,000 on each EV sold in the third quarter of 2023, as highlighted by Utopian. Their own strategy is coming around to bite them, but despite these financial setbacks, Ford remains resolute in its commitment to electrification. The company strategically directs its investments towards fortifying its electric vehicle lineup. And that raises a question: why are they doing this if they're not making money? Well, here's where things get a little complicated, and it has a lot to do with the software they equip all their new cars with. The latest wave of vehicles from heavyweights like Ford, Chrysler, Subaru, and Mercedes-Benz is ushering in a new era with their advanced proprietary software. This is sparking a heated debate over the rights to vehicle repairs. This isn't just about lines of code. It's a strategic maneuver that's firmly placing dealerships in the driver's seat. It means your car's repairs are practically tethered to dealership services, turning even routine maintenance into a pilgrimage to authorized service centers. Independent mechanics are hitting a brick wall, locked out of crucial software unless they cough up some serious cash. And guess who's left footing the bill for these added expenses? You got it? Here's you. With this technology woven deep into the vehicle systems, automakers aren't merely nudging. They're actively steering customers towards their exclusive service networks. The implications are fewer repair choices, lighter wallets, and diminished competition. Independent mechanics, known for their competitive pricing and personalized service, now face formidable obstacles in acquiring the tools and diagnostic software essential for comprehensive repairs. Without access to manufacturer-specific data and updates, their ability to offer diverse service options is uncertain, leaving them with a tough choice of adapting or losing out on business. And here's the thing: proprietary systems in today's vehicles are tightly controlled by automakers, meaning any tweaks or updates must exclusively come from the company that owns the underlying code. This setup introduces considerable friction, especially when trying to integrate with open-source alternatives that thrive on transparency and collaborative development. When we're talking about big companies losing money, you better believe they're going to make it back one way or another. Sure, Ford lost and still is losing a lot of money, but this financial strain prompts automakers to intensify their control over repair processes as a strategic response. And beyond financial pressures, these companies assert dominance by monopolizing repair services and dictating pricing terms. With vehicles equipped with intricate high-tech components requiring specialized servicing, automakers justify premium pricing for maintenance. Their proprietary software programs and unique parts reinforce the perception of their vehicles as robust, versatile workhorses worth their premium price tags. But the